Welcome to another episode of the Burn City Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Franklin Miller, joined by our other workers at Burn City Sports here, Jacob Harden and Brandon Mao. Guys, how are we doing this fine evening? I know the NBA Finals is right now, so thank you for people that are watching. But how are y'all doing?
I'm good. I was ecstatic to see that the Diamondbacks pulled off a sweep, and that was a good feeling. I'm hyped for the series this weekend against the Braves. That's going to be a big test.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we can go ahead and get started straight to that. I mean, the Diamondbacks are having one of those awesome seasons. They just swept the Colorado Rockies to put them tied for first in the NLS with the Dodgers, and quite frankly, tied for first in all of National League. Diamondbacks are on a 5-game win streak now. Corbin Carroll had a walk-off home, or not home run, walk-off single to win the game 5-4 today. And got to be honest, it's got to feel good to be a Diamondbacks fan right now. But I can start with you, Jacob. What is your main takeaways on the Diamondbacks this season and just overall as a team?
I think it's great. I mean, you have the Cardinals, who were a playoff team 2 years ago and have all of a sudden fallen off the cliff. The Suns have gone blown out in 3 straight playoff appearances. You don't even know if the Coyotes are going to be staying in Phoenix any longer. And the Diamondbacks have emerged pretty much out of nowhere and have saved, I think, Arizona sports for the time being. I think people didn't have much looking forward to after the Suns got knocked out, and the Diamondbacks are stepping into that spotlight. And I'm seeing a lot more national attention being brought towards them. And it's the first time since they're a playoff contending team since 2017. I think for a lot of people, they expected them to be better than they were, but they've won 14 of their last 19 games, top of the NL, and it's June. I mean, we're 1/3 of the way through the season, and they're not showing signs of slowing down. They're only getting better. They'll have hopefully some guys get pulled up through the rest of the season that are showing a lot of talent that they have throughout, not just the major leagues, but throughout their minor league system. They have a lot of bright young talent that can still be making an impact on them later through the season.
Yes, sir. I wanted to kick that same question to you, Brendan. What's your main takeaways from the Diamondbacks this season and just overall with the way this kind of year has gone for them as well?
Yeah, I mean, just like Jacob's saying, we actually have something to look forward to after the Suns lose in the playoffs this year. It wasn't like that last year, and we don't have the Cardinals to look forward to really because the D-Hop news, and I don't know. They're not in a good position, but the D-backs are in a prime position, and I can't wait for their series this weekend against the Braves. I mean, how often can you say that we get to watch the D-backs play for basically first place in the NL, depending what the Dodgers do, because they have a good series against the Yankees too this weekend. So I'm excited for both those series to see where the D-backs end up. And yeah, it's June and the D-backs are in first place. That's crazy. I thought they would be like a 500 team this year. They're blowing my expectations out of the water. Corbin Carroll, NL Rookie of the Year.
Well, you were about to say something, Jacob?
I was going to say, I think people love this team. I'm seeing fans from all across the league. They're starting to kind of love this underdog story. You got Corbin Carroll. I mean, they're a stress-free team. There's not much drama tied to them. There's really no reason to dislike them. They haven't had any scandals or nothing. And I think a lot of people are starting to, just based off what I've seen on social media over the past couple of days, starting to kind of root for the Diamondbacks, which is great. Nobody's really ever talked about the Diamondbacks for the past 10 years, and you're finally starting to see people mention them. You're seeing MLB finally start to post about them. And I think a lot of people are kind of like, wait a minute, is this actually happening? And it could be.
Yes, sir. I mean, shoot, where do I begin with my take? Diamondbacks are that team in baseball right now. I mean, you have Zach Gallen, who's a Cy Young Award finalist, or probably will be by the end of the season. He's
right now.
His ERA at home is below 1, which is insane. It's like 0.6. He's just unbelievable. Shoot, he should be in the MVP conversation while we're at it, but
Could be.
rest. We got Corbin Carroll, who's probably going to win Rookie of the Year. You have, I mean, also don't even talk about Ketel Marte, who's on a 30-game on-base streak, who's been unbelievable this season. Christian Walker had his 500th career hit today. It's unbelievable. It's like you said, it's a really great story, a really great underdog story, and they're going to show no signs of slowing down. It's only the beginning for this team. And I remember, quite frankly, going to a game last year when Zach Gallen was pitching and Corbin Carroll just got, was playing in like his third game in the MLB. And at that moment, when they beat the Phillies, a team that went to the World Series last year, like 9-4 or something like that, and I was like, this team is coming. Like they were filled with young, up and coming players.
Still Drew Jones.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the number 1 overall pick right there. They still got.
Yep, and they still got people in the farm system, which is crazy.
100%.
So
I mean, they've been building up these picks over the last 5 years, and they're ready to deploy them.
Yep, it's like what my good friend Rowan Donahue said in past shows. Shout out Rowan, by the way, where he was talking about how the farm system, the way they kind of built this team, is similar to what the Astros did in the middle of the 2010s. And let's see if they can replicate that. It's going to be tall task to do with the good teams in the West, or not just in the West, but the National League with the Dodgers and Braves. But I think they're a team that nobody wants to see right now. So
and I think if they can just find a way to even clinch a wild card spot, that is a great start, because that's, I think, better than a lot of people expected. If they can find a way into the playoffs, which is completely doable in the National League right now. NL West hasn't really completely lived up to the hype so far. And I mean, if their owner can go out and get one big name free agent, either the trade deadline or over the offseason, I think that's that final piece that they need, and they are a championship contender team.
Yeah, I mean, going into this season, I thought a win would be them just making it as a wild card spot in the playoffs. That's a win in itself, but they're kind of exceeding those expectations this year. Now, do I think they're going to, even though they're first or tied for first in NL, do I think they're going to win the division? Probably not. I still like the Dodgers' chances, but I think they might cool down. I don't want to say soon. They're firing all cylinders right now, but sometime in the next month or so, they'll cool down. Finally find that. So I can't wait though until actually the All-Star break with the trade deadline comes around, because one thing Diamondbacks really need is bullpen and pitching to really fill out the rest of this roster to make a deep playoff run. I think they got the hitting down. I think they got the timely defense down. I just think that they're missing this key in baseball, which is bullpen usage. So I think if they can muster that down, I think they can be in great shape, so to speak, for going forward. So,
and like we said, they got plenty of guys in their farm system that could be used as great trade capital. Shohei is a free agent this year. I think he would look great in a Diamondbacks uniform.
Woo! Oh, man. The Shohei comes to the valley. You got KD and now Shohei. Like, look,
you can fill a starting pitching role. You got yourself another bat and fans in the seats.
Shoot, you got more than a bat at that point. Like, that'd be crazy. But yeah, we shall see if that happens. But yeah, to be continued. But the Diamondbacks are red hot. They're playing their next series against the Atlanta Braves this upcoming weekend. It's going to be a fun series against another top of the notch National League team, and they're really going to show the Diamondbacks what they're made of moving forward. So I kind of wanted to move forward into news in the NBA cycle yesterday. Monty Williams, former Suns head coach, got a new head coaching gig with the Detroit Pistons. And I'm not going to lie to you, there's reports coming out before that he's going to sit out for the season. And I was believing it. And it made so much sense based off of the way he talked about his family and wanting that family time as well. So, But with the amount of money the Pistons were offering him, according to Shams, I was like, that's kind of hard to say no to. You got like a 6-year, $72 million deal that could go up to 8 years, $100 million on incentives alone, which is insane. He's going to be making $12 million a year, which is going to be easily the best in basketball, ahead of Greg Popovich, who's making 11.5. It's, in my opinion, it's a great hiring by Detroit, based off of what Monty has done from a culture changing standpoint with Phoenix when he first came aboard. So I just wanted to kickstart with you again, Jacob. What do you make of the Monty Williams news of him going to Detroit, and was it a good decision by Detroit to hire Monty Williams for that much money?
It was 100% a good decision. I wrote about this yesterday. So the Pistons finished last season 17-65. Worst record in the NBA. The Suns in 2018, before Monty took over, had a 19-63 record. I think the Pistons, that's something they looked at and said, look what he did to the Suns. I mean, he brought this team while the Suns probably could say had more weapons offensively, but he still took the Suns from one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the NBA, to in the playoffs 3 straight seasons in a remarkable bubble season. I think I see a lot of people come saying this is because of this contract, this shows that the Suns made a mistake, which I disagree with. The Suns and the Pistons now are 2 completely different teams. I think if the Suns are trying to build some super team in Phoenix, Monty isn't that coach. He's good for developing, I think, struggling teams, and the Pistons are that team right now. And I think for the Pistons, that's the right fit, and it wasn't working for the Suns.
Yeah, and I can concur, and I can even move forward into that. But I want to welcome my boy Rowan Donahue real quick. Rowan, how you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm good. Apologies for the tardiness.
Oh, you're good, man. We were kind of just talking about Monty Williams, but I know you're quick to change it a little bit. But I know you're kind of a big Diamondbacks guy yourself. We kind of just wrapped up talking about that. I kind of want to get your thoughts on just the way it's been going for your team this year, because I know you had a lot of hot takes to say, in the beginning of the year, that's actually might be coming to fruition with them now tied in the West and in the National League. So what are your takes on the sweep today and just the Diamondbacks in general this season?
To quote the great Lil Wayne, I don't lie, I confess. Diamondbacks are going to be 1 win away from going to the World Series this year and just not have enough. I'm guaranteeing you that. They lose in Game 7 of the National League Championship Series. You can mark my words on that. How do I feel about the sweep today? Could care less. It's June 1st. They are tied for first. They don't even hold first. Or maybe they're half a game up. I don't really know. I haven't looked. It's June 1st, people. Let's get through the All-Star break. Let's get into August. Love what I see from the D-backs, though. Outside of the bullpen, everything is top-notch. These guys are playing above their potential, and some guys are making me rethink their potential. The one kid in particular, he cut his hair and lost his superpowers. They just called him back up. Jake McCarthy has been on fire this week. So I love what I'm seeing from the Diamondbacks, man. The kid, Tommy Henry, pitched 7 innings last night. I think he's the key to their success come postseason. They're going to need a third starter that's, I don't want to say ace-like. It's really no other word to use for pitchers. But if they can get a third starter that can go 6-7 innings like he did last night on a regular basis through the playoffs, they can lock up every series going up 3-0 with Kelly, Gallen, and Henry showing up. Bullpen, only question. But, again, there's 4 months in the season. They can figure it out, I'm sure, whether it's through trade, through calling somebody up, or somebody just figuring it the F out.
They have one of the best pitching coaches in the MLB to figure that out.
Yeah, no, yeah. I ain't gonna lie. Last year, I was like, man, we need to just whole new face everything. And this is going to go into with the Monty Williams thing beautifully. I was calling for Torey Lovullo's head. A lot of people were. Management did the opposite. They stuck with him. They extended his contract, and boom. Things have turned around drastically this season. First winning season in a while since they traded Goldie, really, in 2017, that this team has seen success. Suns just gave up on money way, way too early, man. Pistons.
Yes, sir. Pistons. I want to get your thoughts on the Monty Williams news, man. I know Jacob was kind of just talking about that. What's your thoughts on that, Rowan?
Pistons will be a playoff team. Suns will not.
What this year? Rowan, come on, man.
Mark my words, bro.
Come on, man. You're joking. You're joking with me, man.
What do the Suns have to offer?
Yo, we have to wait to see
Honestly.
who their coaches first
And who their players are.
and who their players are.
And you got a young core out there in Detroit that's even better than the core that Phoenix had in 2018 when Monty Williams took over.
That is true. But I would argue I don't think they have anybody that's as good as D-Book was. I love Cade Cunningham.
Him 2 years.
I love Cade Cunningham. I don't think
I can see them following the same timeline as the Suns.
Oh yeah, I think yeah. But yeah,
they start emerging, but
Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham,
Jaden Ivey's a dog.
Dynamic, next level talent, man. All they had was Devin Booker when he came here, and as great as Devin Booker is, man, I repeat this a lot on this show, and it's probably getting tired on everybody's ears. Jump shots are beautiful on Instagram. They mean nothing come playoff time.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham get that ball to the bucket, and they don't get nervous once they get in the paint. I feel like Booker and Durant, as soon as their feet get in the paint, they look down and go, whoa, which way do I go, Joe? Which way do I go? They get nervous. They jack up some fadeaway, and it goes down 40% of the time. Wonderful.
No, man, you actually have a point there though. Like the Suns, whoever the next coach is for Suns, they gotta make sure that they
get a center.
One thing I guess, yes, but two, you also gotta factor in they gotta get to the free throw line a lot more, and they just don't do it. They don't do it.
Nah,
awesome.
You settle for jump shots. You letting the defense off the hook. I mean, it's the NBA. Anybody can shoot 30 or 40% these days, man. If you want to pull up for the jumper, thank you. Shoot that thing. I don't know what the score in this final game is, but I guarantee you, all them jumpers the Heat been hitting in the first 3 playoff series is gonna go cold. I'm watching Reds right now instead of the finals.
Yeah, eventually it does. And yeah, to echo your guys' thoughts a little bit on the Monty Williams thing, I also concur with you. I think it's a great move by Detroit. They did make him the highest paid coach in the NBA. And
if only the Suns could hire a guy like that.
Oh, here we go. But yeah, no, I really like the move. I think from a culture changing perspective, it's wonderful. I think that similar to what Roland was saying, what the Pistons have was better than what Monty was kind of coming into, minus Devin Booker.
It's Detroit too, man. It's a basketball city. My bad to cut you off.
Oh no, you're good. And it's like they got 2 young core and Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham that are going to be hungry to take that next step and continue to build. Man, now I can only imagine if the Pistons got the number 1 pick. Oh my goodness, got the number 1 pick.
I ain't gonna lie. I will say this, and y'all gonna think I'm crazy for this too. It ain't got nothing to do with Phoenix. But if the Spurs pick Wemby, they just wasted that pick.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about that last time. You're a man filled with hot takes, bro.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
It's if he can turn his body into Giannis by year 3.
That's a great point.
I mean,
if there's a coach that I trust though with a guy like that, it's Greg Popovich.
I love Pop, man. I think he's getting a little old.
He is. That's true.
And I ain't gonna lie, my takes, they're not really hot takes. They kind of just the truth before everybody takes the BS out their eyes. Everybody just sees a few highlights and just falls in love with whoever. I'm not even talking about Wemby right here. It's just like, I don't know, man. I'm old. I gotta see something that's concrete. You can't just show me you mixing up some concrete. And I'm like, oh yeah, you about to have a nice foundation right there. I need to see that thing laid out and paved, baby.
Yeah, I will agree. I do think the hype surrounding him is a little too much, but I digress. But yeah, going back to like the Monty. Oh, wait, what?
They got James Wiseman, Bojan Bogdanovic, Killian Hayes.
Yeah,
Pistons are gonna be nice, man.
Jalen Duren.
Yep.
I didn't know they picked up Buddy Boeheim, Syracuse's finest. Alec Burks.
Alec Burks had a great season this past year too.
They need a win.
Yeah, they're still young. They still got to build.
Cam Johnson.
I think the you might be on something, Brendan. Actually you go next, Brendan. with that Cam Johnson like thing right there. I think that'd be wonderful. But what's your kind of takeaways on the Monty Williams and Detroit Pistons news?
Yeah, I saw things just like he's gonna have to drive by Matt Ishbia's house every day. I thought that was funny. In that same city. But
that's so true.
I think it's gonna be interesting because
that's so true.
I think it's gonna be interesting because Cade missed most of the last season. They were tanking, and then they ended up with the number 5 overall pick. So it'll be interesting to see who they can get with that. I don't know. I was thinking if they could maybe trade up to get Brandon Miller, because I don't like any of the I don't see how any of the prospects that around there could fit with them. But hold on, it's light. But yeah, I like I agree with what you guys have been saying. I think they have the similar trajectory as the Suns did with Monty. They got a lot of good young players, just like the Suns had with Booker, McHale, DA. I think it's very similar situation, and yeah, I was believing those rumors too that he wasn't going to come back, but I mean that amount of money is crazy, and they got a good team for him to build on. So it'll be interesting to see how the Pistons turn around with him.
They'll sham it too.
He's Shamit.
Once he gets that phone call.
Yeah, he'll find his way to Detroit just to be, that veteran presence for them. You ain't lying. I could definitely see them getting Cam Johnson, spending big money on Cam Johnson just to be one of those centerpieces for them to go alongside Cade. I think that would be wonderful. Yeah, he plays great defense, great three-point shooter. I think it should be great.
And I will say with the number 5 pick, you usually get away from the bus. All the busts are 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th pick is usually a pretty good pick you can get. There's a lot of good names on this list that are actually some decent ball players that have proven winning track records, such as Grady Dick and Jordan Hawkins. Those are the 2 guys I'd be looking at if I was Detroit to fill that 3 spot.
That's a good point.
The projected top 5? I thought they were like late.
No, see, you got to stay away from projections, Brendan. That's how you just get caught up saying the same stuff that everybody else says. You got to steal people, man. You got to get people where they're getting is good. Jordan Hawkins is the best player in college basketball last season. Proven winner. Grady Dick, wonderful size. 6'7" wingspan. He beefs up a little bit. He'll probably be the best player out of this draft, honestly. I mean, honestly, if you look at the top 5 projections, it's a lot of kids that I couldn't tell you nothing about them because they've been playing in the G League, which means they haven't been playing non-competitive basketball for the last year.
Like Scoot
which
Henderson.
Means they're going to be a bust automatically.
Like Scoot Henderson, my dog?
Yeah, Scoot Henderson. Mm-hmm. Two brothers named Thompson. I think they're brothers.
Could be, potentially.
I think it's them twins that's been going viral for saying the same answer to questions.
They're from Overtime Elite. They're not the G League. 20-year-olds playing against high school kids.
Yeah, ridiculous.
That's their flow.
Give me Jordan Hawkins, baby. Best pick of the draft. Him and Grady Dick. That's another story, though. Even Chris Murray. Grabbed Keegan's little brother out of Iowa.
Monty has a lot to choose from to begin his coaching career in Detroit, but it is true that this team is kind of similar in the kind of maneuvering in the right direction, similar to where the Suns were when they were first starting with Monty. So great job by the owner for the Detroit Pistons, Tom Weavers. Good job by him and his for getting the guy they wanted. They did. They paid him all the money that they got. So now Monty's going to do what he does best, which is lead by example and develop a different culture change that will make this Pistons team into a playoff caliber team moving forward.
Can I ask y'all a question about this?
What's up?
Monty Williams, the highest paid coach now. Is there anybody that the Suns can get that you'd be like, I'd rather have him than Monty Williams? Or is everybody, to me, everybody's a downgrade. But I'm a cynic.
My honest opinion, I'll say that for the next next segment.
Oh yeah, no rush. I think it's gonna be a downgrade whoever they get.
It will be, but
who do you think it will be?
Who do I think it will be?
Yeah, who's their top guy right now? I know they have that list of 3, but who do you think their top guy is right now?
Kevin Young.
Yeah,
that's the assistant,
the associate head coach. He's kind of been the X's and O's guru during his tenure with Monty Williams and Devin Booker. His praised them so super highly, and so is the other players and coaches around the Suns organization. So I think he'd be a really, and also Monty Williams during his press conferences have talked really highly of him in terms of just like there's some times where like he would see some changes in the lineup or certain situations going on in the game, and Monty would have to would stay back from doing it, but then would slowly start to like do what Kevin tells him, and then he'll be like, and then it'll work, and he'll be like, yeah, I gotta give Kevin credit because he keeps giving me, crap about like wanting to go in this direction, and yeah, so I mean, hey, look, I'm sold on that particularly, but if we're going Doc Rivers, it made no sense to fire Monty Williams.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
But yeah. Well, yeah, we could move on to that segment because that was going to be my next segment. They're down to their final 3 coaching candidates in Doc Rivers, Kevin Young, and Frank Vogel, who recently just won a championship with Lakers in 2020 in that bubble run. Coached all those years in Indiana. But I said who I think is going to be the guy. I think it's Kevin Young or bust, but that's just my opinion. I've been saying that all week. What's your guys' who do you guys think out of the final 3 coaching candidates they should hire?
Yeah, I like Kevin Young. I think they need to. I think the problem with what the Suns owner is doing right now is it's hard to tell if he knows basketball because he seems to just kind of be going for that flashy thing.
He's scaring me.
That's what he's scaring me because I don't know if he's just gonna go get Doc Rivers and be like, look we got this big name coach. So I think Kevin Young's a safe option. I think he's taking a lot of risks, and we'll see if they'll pay off next season. But you don't want to take too many because you can end up turning this franchise into a dumpster fire real quick.
I love you, Matt Ishbia. But
yeah.
If they hire Doc Rivers, I'm gonna be convinced. I'm gonna be convinced that he does not know what he's doing, and that he's literally just going for flashiness at this point. At that point, I'm like, Rowan, you're right. They ruined a great thing at that point.
I mean, they could bring in Jesus Christ himself, and they've already ruined this team for the next decade. Bro. It's just what it is. Michigan State's finest, owning the team.
Yeah. What about you, Brendan? Who do you like out of the final 3 coaching candidates?
Think about it. That if the Suns hire Kevin Young right now, that would be like the most new direction to go, even though he was with the team, because Frank Vogel and Doc Rivers are kind of like the same coach as Monty in terms of resume. That they've been around the NBA for a long time. They've been a head coach. They've proven themselves at certain places and then have kind of gone downhill in their last few years. But yeah, it's just I think if you want to go in a new direction, then Kevin Young is the guy. And I don't know, it's hard that they've waited this long just to hire an associate head coach, their own associate head coach. So I don't know. It's a tough situation that they're in right now.
That's a valid question that will be brought up. For them taking this long, it does scare me that it might not be Kevin Young, because I have a feeling that if it were him, I feel like they wouldn't have taken this long and just be kind of going through the process. So what that tells me is that they're really looking heavily at one of the Rivers or Frank Vogel, which
we're waiting until after the NBA Finals.
Or wait until after the NBA Finals. So
that's what Cardinals did.
Yeah, I think they can shock the world and just get one of those assistants from Miami or Denver, which I won't be mad about.
I agree with all y'all, man. I think Kevin Young would be the best fit. You bring in just I don't think Doc Rivers has anything left to the in the tank. I don't think Frank Vogel is as great as a coach as he seems. He's had some great players in Indiana and with the Lakers. I think Kevin Young. I love it when teams bring in a coach, first-time head coach, show us what you got, roll the ball out there, and we see what they have. So I love it, but I do agree with you, Franklin, the most. I think he's going to try and be flashy. Look at the Kevin Durant trade on his first day on the job. I think he likes making headlines, man. You saw him in the Joker incident, which I'm not saying it's his fault, but he's in the mix. He wants to be in the mix. He wants his picture taken. He's a guy that wants to be talked about on ESPN by Stephen A. He's going to try and hire somebody that gets talked about. Kevin Young would just go at the bottom of the screen on First Take, but Doc Rivers is going to get talked about.
Well, they won't even talk about it. They won't even talk about it on First Take if we hire Kevin Young. If they hire Frank Vogel,
it's just going to pop up at the bottom.
Yeah, if they hire Frank Vogel, it may be talked about. If they hire Doc Rivers, it's everywhere.
Yeah. You're going to hear Stephen A. screaming, I cannot believe.
Yep, 100%, man. But we shall see what happens. I mean, I've heard reports that the
man, I wish they could just call Monty and be like, my bad, bro. He's tripping, bro.
No, yeah, I definitely think that the hiring will happen at some point by the end of the week, probably early next week. That's what everybody keeps saying. So we just got to wait and see. And go from
my bad,
there.
baby. I'm going to stop going to the strip club, Monty. Come on back, baby.
Oh,
sorry, baby.
No, but yeah. We can move on and we can go into a little bit of Cardinal stuff, which we haven't really discussed in a minute, but this kind of happened a while ago. But Deandre Hopkins, if none of y'all know, I don't know how, has been released by the Arizona Cardinals, which leads me to say, are the Cardinals tanking? Are the Cardinals tanking? And
100%.
Might be obvious to some. Who knows? They do have a lot of roster turmoil to get done through. My opinion, I also think that the quarterback situation isn't safe either. I just think they're waiting for Kyler Murray to get healthy and see what he's done for at least half a year. But I can start with you, Jacob, because you are a Cardinals guy. What do you think all this is leading to for the Cardinals moving forward?
No, I mean, I want to blame a lot of this on Steve Keim. He left a mess at the salary cap, signed some horrible contracts, and I think at this point they can trade Kyler Murray at the end of the season. Whether somebody's going to want to pick up that contract is another question, but Caleb Williams is going to be there in the draft, and they have that pick locked up. So Kyler should be back around week 6 or week 7. And if Kyler doesn't look like the guy that they drafted in those final 10 weeks, then I don't see why they don't make the move on Caleb Williams, throw it all away, and restart.
I concur. That's where I'm kind of at too. I think it's a full-blown rehaul for Arizona, and it almost feels like, I don't want to say it's like an audition, but I feel like it's an audition for Kyler Murray in a sense.
I think
and
it's
just in a sense of like
last chance to kind of show himself in the league, and he definitely had a bad, to his standards, bad 2022 season, and you see players, they have those kind of earlier in their career injuries, and if they bounce back, they make a name for themselves in the league, but other players don't, and then ends up ruining their career. So this ACL injury is something that could linger with him, and he may be a quarterback that plays not only 9 to 10 games a season because he's always injured. And that's another thing that they got to be worried on. I mean, any ACL injury this early on in his career could be a career-ending injury.
And they already paid the man $457 million.
No, their salary cap situation, and they just incurred a whole bunch of dead cap with DeAndre Hopkins, letting him go, and it's a complete mess.
Especially before the June 1st deadline, which was, or July 1st, I forgot. June 1st deadline. Yeah, that just made it 10.
Baker's mostly, I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on right there. I haven't heard any updates, but I mean, he wants out.
He's the person you need to try to keep.
Yes.
In terms of leadership, in terms of top safeties in the league, but in terms of leadership and just as an overall captain and locker room president. Yeah. If you want to start the program over, he's the one you got to start with in terms of trying to get him on board. It ain't looking good.
I mean, they had a good draft. I think they had.
They did.
They got the number 1 overall pick, which even if they don't get Caleb Williams, that's excellent leverage. I don't think they made any like extremely risky bets. They played it safe, got some defensive weapons. I think I would give them an A rating in the draft, and they can build off that. And so it is a rebuild, whether they like to admit it or not. Their defense is going to be one of the worst in the league next season. Their offense, I mean, Greg Dortch, wide receiver 1.
Michael Wilson, baby, Stanford's finest.
Marquise Brown and Greg Dortch, and then their QB. I don't even know who they're going to have. Colt McCoy at QB, maybe, if he's up for it.
I think they're going to start the other kid.
The guy
QB,
from Houston.
Man. It's a full-on tank, baby.
I love playing Toon.
He's looked good.
Get your combat boots ready. Yeah. We tanking. They're not playing Colt McCoy. He gives them the best chance to win. They're not keeping Buda Baker because he's not about to go through a rebuild. And
I don't know why Colt McCoy would even stick around. He's 31 years old. That just seems
because there's a chance for him to start the first 6 games.
That's true.
So you're always going to.
No, I would give it to Clean Tune. I think give it to your young guy. See if there's something there.
That's what
There's no harm. I mean, it's not like they're going to be in the playoffs next season.
Yeah, but all these coaches, man, they're always going to try to think that they have a chance to make playoffs every year. So
you're supposed to go out there with your best effort.
Yeah.
This new generation of sports,
no, I'm not. Yeah.
I just don't understand it.
No.
And I ain't worried about Kyler Murray's ACL. This is damn in between the ears.
Yeah, that too.
I think it'd be interesting if Kyler does come back and he has a good season, and the Texans don't have a good season, and they still end up with the number 1 overall pick.
Trade that away.
If they trade Kyler or the pick,
Texans.
I think you can still get a haul for Kyler.
I don't know if anybody's. I mean, he would have to have a really good season, but I think there's going to be teams that are willing to give up so much for Caleb Williams. So I think if they. Yeah, so Kyler is at least above average. Just keep to Kyler. See if he can rebound for a full whole season. They still will have a decently high draft pick, and they'll be able to get a ton of leverage for that number 1 pick.
Maybe I'm crazy. It don't matter how good your quarterback is if the other 22 guys on the field is as worse as you can get. There's no way Kyler Murray has a good season. There's no way the Cardinals have a good season. They're aiming for 2 wins. That's the goal, is to get 2 wins. They showed that with releasing DeAndre Hopkins. They're not looking at the future. They're looking at the future. They're not looking at the next 3 seasons. They're looking at the 2026 to 2030.
Oh, essentially, yeah. They're looking at this long term, which they should be doing. But I'd like to give out a shout out similar to
worry about.
Yeah. But I'd like to give a shout out to Monty Eisenfort, similar to what you were saying, Jacob. I thought he did terrific in the draft.
Yeah. Getting that number 1 overall pick was huge.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It at least got hope. I mean, the Cardinals, the fan base was completely shattered after that season, and then just everything that happened after you get rid of
that was definitely a new low for Cardinals fans.
100%.
100%.
I mean, they were just in the playoffs 2 seasons ago. I mean, they started off 7-0, and everything was looking good, and then they just completely collapsed. So I think,
and that's why all of this is an overreaction. They shouldn't have did none of this. You're the most unhealthy team in football last year. Come back healthy.
Yeah.
I don't get the whole firing the coach, firing the GM, firing this, firing that, and releasing one of the best wide receivers in the league. I don't know, man.
I think they wanted to keep Hopkins. Hopkins wanted out. I mean, he wants to go win a ring.
That's 100% what it was.
He's struggling right now. I mean, I don't think teams are. I think he expected to be getting an OBJ type contract, and teams just don't want to give him that much money. I mean, he is 30 years old, and he didn't play that hard last season. Even in the games he was on the field, if you watch like the routes that he was running towards the end of the season, I mean, he completely gave up. And I know they were out of the playoffs.
His quarterback can't see him.
I mean, he was fumbling the ball he wasn't playing like DeAndre Hopkins was playing. I think teams are looking at that and saying, this guy might not be what he used to be. I'm sure if he gives 100% effort, he is, but it's not a good look when you're just not playing with 100% effort, and there's still games left in the season.
And
Not
I
to-
call as Shannon Sharp would say to that, Jacob Bull jive. Bull jive. No, I'm just kidding. But on a serious note, I do see that. I heard that too over yesterday that there's like anonymous sources that were saying that Diop still has it, and did he give up on routes and stuff like that. And I mean, I honestly think that some of those coaches and anonymous executives are trying to do that to lower his contract for upcoming, so they can be able to afford him. Because in my opinion, I think D-Hop still has it. I think he's still one of the best.
If he cares.
He has one of the best hands in the league, one of the best one-on-one route. Or I don't even want to say he's like. I don't want to say he's like one of the best route runners in the league, because I don't think I never deemed him that way. But for people to say that he still doesn't get separation, I think is not accurate and true. I definitely saw that he was still able to get separation last year and do a really wonderful job doing that, playing with backup quarterbacks for half that season before he went out the final game of the season. And he still, in the limited time they played, he still had 717 receiving yards. Was on pace to have another great year before he got hurt in 2021. So, I mean, I think he still has it. I definitely think he's waiting for the right contract, and teams are waiting for the right time to kind of coach. But if he is looking for Odell money, I'm gonna be honest and say I definitely think he deserves Odell's contract, because I think
Odell.
He's in terms of just statistics outside of the ring that Odell got. I think DeAndre Hopkins' production has been higher than his over the past few seasons.
Yeah,
we're kind of in the same boat with DeAndre Hopkins probably being a little bit more available, I would say, than Odell. So if he's looking for that, definitely deserves that money. That's all I'm saying.
What Odell get? 20 mil?
Not 200 mil. Wait,
20.
20. Let's say not 200 mil. 20.
Oh, he got 18. He got something like that, huh?
Yeah, something like that for about a year. Whatever Odell got, that's the ballpark you got to start with D-Hop, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, DeAndre Hopkins before playing with Kyler Murray was considered the top 2 receivers in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 1,000%, man. So I don't know. We shall see. But so it's definitely dire times in Arizona. But I definitely still see there's light at the end of the tunnel. You just got to be patient with it. Kind of indulge the season as to take it for what it is. So.
Good thing of the saving grace Diamondbacks.
Exactly. Yeah, at least he got the Diamondbacks. I do believe in Rowan's take with the Diamondbacks. So it's coming more.
Man, I can't wait to see how many of them make the All-Star game. Last year we got one reliever in the All-Star game. I think they get 3 or 4 players.
Why do I have a feeling some of them are going to get snubbed?
I think they will.
So mad. I have a feeling there's going to be people that are going to get snubbed.
I mean, I think Gurriel Jr. should be in the All-Star game right now. They have like 5 players hitting above 300 consistently.
I'm telling you, some of these guys are going to get snubbed.
Yeah, but it's going to be the Christian Walkers that get snubbed, not the Gurriels.
That's true.
Christian Walker is definitely going to get snubbed. First base. As long as
Zach Gallen's a starter, I'm fine. I
don't think he's even going to be a starter, man.
Probably Spencer.
Yeah. But I was saying this earlier too, Rowan. Did you know that Zach Gallen's ERA at home is under 1, 0.6?
Yeah, I mean, he's only had 1 bad game this whole year.
Yep.
Somehow he let the Pirates put up 15 runs on him, and I don't remember how much it was, but that's the only bad game. Outside of that 1 game against the Pirates, he's literally hasn't given up more than 1 run. I don't think. I'd have to look at it, but I don't think he's given up more than 1 run in the start. Besides that 1 game against the Pirates.
I think he has. Not at home, though, but definitely on the road.
Nah, he's a dog in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Whatever taco stand he go to before the game, shout out to them.
Shoot. Yeah,
it's got to get those fans out there now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's crazy to me. I was watching the game last night, bro. I was like, damn. I used to love it, though. I used to go down there every Tuesday and get to catch a game for $7 and get a beer and some peanuts. Walk out of there under $20, man. Be right behind the dugout too, whooping it up.
They're averaging below 20,000. They're actually down from last season. And
what?
I thought at this, and even like Friday night games, there's just like it's odd because I haven't seen that stadium sold out in years. It would be so cool to see that.
Oh man, Diamondbacks fans, let me tell you something, man. You guys better go to these games, bro.
I think this weekend, Diamondbacks at the top of the NL, you're taking on the Braves. That has the potential to finally.
I mean, I'm gonna
I
tell
think
y'all what it
they can
is.
at least.
This Phoenix, they're not gonna give
Yeah.
a hot ham about baseball until August,
That's true.
and then they're gonna start going to Cardinals games.
Or
And
the
you gotta
Dodgers.
drive 3 hours to get to a Cardinals game.
Yeah, that's the
Nah,
crazy
they're
part.
gonna be at the Dodgers series for sure.
There'll be more Dodgers fans still.
Yep. Shoot, there'll still be more Giants fans if they go Giants play them, which is
I
crazy.
honestly don't think I
I
ever met a Diamondbacks fan. I lived in Phoenix 8-9 years. They all love the Suns and the Cardinals, but they
Well,
always
they're
go to the
Diamondbacks
Dodgers
fans.
as soon as they get to baseball.
Every time I go to the Suns arena, the Diamondbacks fans show. I'm telling you that it's legit. But
I just think they haven't had anything to root for, and they've just been quiet. And also Arizona. I mean, a lot of people have moved to Arizona as of late, so they're bringing their teams with them. So Arizona, you go to a Diamondbacks game, there's gonna be more fans from the opposing team. That's how it used to be with the Suns too, until they got good. So
I think
Monty Williams.
I think it's been hard for them. I think it's just too good to be true for these Diamondbacks fans still. They're like, they don't want to get their hopes up.
yeah,
I'm telling you, this team's different. They're really
I think it's because they don't have any big names that people are
Corbin
really
Carroll's big.
besides Corbin Carroll and Mercury.
That's true.
We'll
yeah,
get there.
Madison Bumgarner. No more.
not anymore.
Man,
Not anymore.
my dog,
No more.
the legend. Madison Bumgarner got more rings on one hand than the Diamondbacks' whole franchise.
Yeah. True.
And he got
He's
them all
the
by
one.
himself.
That's
Pitched
who
every
won.
inning. No, I'm playing.
If Merrill Kelly, Zach Gallen was a Cy Young this season, Diamondbacks will have a Cy Young winner in 20% of all their seasons.
It's crazy, bro. They've had some aces, man.
Brandon Webb, Randy Johnson, Kurt Schilling.
Speaking of that too, I remember Rowan saying something along the lines of like when the Diamondbacks, when last time they won the World Series, Randy Johnson hit a bird and won Cy Young that same year. Zach Gallen hit a bird. I'm just saying. That's what Rowan was saying.
Nah, man. It's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
That stadium's ready to erupt.
Yeah.
I will tell you this, man. They're going to win the wild card. They're going to win the division series. And they're going to go 7 games in the championship series and just flare out. They both
gonna
going
lose
to
in
give up too many
series
games.
too.
Who I think will lose 2?
Yeah, who they gonna lose to?
Their only competition right now is Dodgers. And my fear is that
I
they
don't
play
think the
Mets. in the
Dodgers
first
are that
round.
good.
That's my fear.
You got to think about the National League, man. It's one of the best leagues. I mean, it is the best league. It's way better than the American League.
You think?
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%.
Look at American League Central.
The
All
AL Central
6
is
of the
terrible.
5 of those teams trash.
Yeah, the AL Central is so bad. Like
Yeah.
the Tigers, Royals, all those.
But I'm not worried about anybody from the NL Central.
Why?
Diamondbacks looked great against the Brewers. I guess they won the series against the
Giants-
Pirates because
The
Zach
Giants
Gallen had a
swept the
bad
Brewers.
night.
The Giants swept the Brewers too, and
Man, I don't know. Y'all sleeping on a lot of teams. There's some teams that don't look good right now. Let me tell y'all something about baseball. Some of these teams you think not going to be in the playoffs are going to be in the playoffs, like the Phillies and the Cardinals and the
Cardinals won.
Cardinals. What?
Phillies find a way to get back.
I don't know who they're going to lose to, man. But they tied with the Dodgers, bro. All this goddamn noise. Well, first place. Woo! They
They haven't been
tied.
anything to celebrate for 5 years.
They're tied. It's June 1st, man. They have won 5 straight, though. Let's celebrate that.
They are 500.
Last night,
Or not 500, my fault.
11 games above
First
500.
Yeah, 11 games over 500.
I can't believe I've seen all this hype about the damn first place, and they not even first place. I knew they wasn't first place, but y'all had me believing like, damn, maybe they did win 2 games today.
I think Dodgers.
We said tied for first, man.
It's
Nah, there's some people talking about first place, bro, on Twitter, on everything.
Head to head. That's what it is.
I don't know. I'm excited about this Diamondbacks team. I don't know who they're gonna lose to, but I'm telling you, that's how far they're gonna get. Their bullpen gonna just fall apart. Kids like Tommy Henry gonna fall apart. It's gonna be Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly by themselves trying to carry them into the World Series. And also, I mean, again, we about 60 games into the season. All these hot bats can go ice cold in the month of June, July, and August, and they don't even make the damn playoffs. But I think they're gonna go 1 game short of the World Series this year. And if they don't blow it up like the Suns did, they got a chance the next 10 years to win 2 or 3.
They're not gonna blow it up.
They've done it so many times. Paul
have.
Goldschmidt. I mean, they
JD Martinez, Goldie, like they had some squads that they just gave up on.
That's true.
Scherzer.
I mean, they need to stick with this team, and they still have that. They still have Drew Jones, and they still have plenty of guys in the minor leagues they can build off of.
I know. I hope when they're making these trades, they don't mess up. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Last year, I thought they messed up getting rid of our show, but they didn't. That might be the best trade they ever made. But I hate for them to, like, trade the wrong outfielder. Like, and I thought he was the wrong outfielder. He had 27 home runs his rookie year. Literally the only bright spot of last season besides the Carrolls and Drews coming.
Yeah. And I think that's why a big reason why it's been tough for fans to be drawn to the Diamondbacks, because there hasn't been a player that they can stick with, because that player just gets traded away as soon as the Diamondbacks show any signs of life.
Marte and Walker, man, but they don't even get the love they're supposed to.
That's true.
They've been around 3-4 years now, just losing. Playing good ball, though. I mean, Christian Walker, on top of him hitting his 100th home run last year, I think he's 4th on the list in the last 5 seasons with home runs.
Didn't he have his, 500th, hit or home run today? 500
hit, 100 home run, back-to-back days.
Crazy. Martel's on a 30 on base streak.
Hey, man, they don't play ball like that no more. I love small ball, man. That's one thing I love about the Diamondbacks. That's one thing to kind of guarantee them not going cold. Playing small ball, base to base.
They're young.
Contact hitting.
Got the legs.
Yeah.
They fast, bro. McCarthy, all the outfielders are fast.
Carroll's fast, bro.
Fastest man in baseball.
Carroll really reminds me of Mookie a little bit.
I can see it. I don't think he's as good as Mookie, but I can see it.
No, not as good, but he reminds me a little bit of him.
Mookie is, man. If Carroll could ever get to that level, whoo,
yeah,
Lord have mercy.
Over. But yeah, before we wrap up, I kind of just wanted to touch base a little bit on Mercury news. Just kind of wanted to do a season update. They got their first win last week against the Minnesota Lynx. Diane Taurasi had 23 points. Brittany Griner had 19 points, 8 rebounds. Sophie Cunningham had 13. She fouled out though, but they got, so they're 1-2 now. They haven't played since, which is crazy. I still can't believe that they have a week-long outing like that. But it was really cool being at the game and just seeing them play the way they did. But there's a couple things I'm a little worried about this season. Is kind of similar to Suns, if I'm being honest. Depth is an issue, and turnovers are an issue. They had 18 turnovers last game. I know the first game against the Sparks, who they play tomorrow, they had 21 turnovers. I believe in the second game of the season, they had 13 or 14 turnovers. So that's something they got to clean up. But what they do have really good shooting that can keep them in a lot of games, but it will not happen if they continue to turn the ball over and put themselves in transition situations. I thought they should have blew out the Lynx by 30 points. That's what Sophie Cunningham said after the game, and I agree with her. But they kept them in the game.
They 0-5.
They're not a good team, but they kept them in the game based off turnovers and based off of going cold from 3 in the second half. But I also just wanted to touch base and kind of just give a shout out to Diane Taurasi. She is probably going down as the greatest WNBA player.
OG, baby.
She's super close to 10,000 points. She's less than 300 points short from getting that. That's going to be a great milestone when she does get that. I can't believe that she's still playing at a high level like she is. But it's a breath of fresh air. Obviously, Brittany Griner still getting her legs underneath her, but I definitely think this season's really going to come down to Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner, and Sophie Cunningham carrying these girls on the back. Yeah, the Skylar Diggins-Smith is on maternity leave right now, so she's probably
she ain't coming back, bro.
Guess she's not coming back, so they're gonna have to do with what they got. And it's gonna be. I'm curious to see what they can do at them 3 with this team. So,
man, Diana Taurasi, UConn's finest.
UConn's finest, man. Hey, UConn girls hoops was that team.
That was peak.
Growing up, that's all I heard about.
Yep.
UConn women's basketball. I was like, hey, man, They're like
They
the
don't
Bulls. Crazy. But
But
yeah.
they did have some other teams go hard, but now UConn always at the top of the list for sure in women's.
Yeah.
Brittany Griner also, just to shout her out, she was plus 1,400 coming into the season for being MVP. She's down to plus 1,200.
Yep.
Get in while you can get in.
Yes. It's gonna be interesting to finish. They just gotta continue to win games, and we'll see what happens. But any last minute thoughts from y'all? It doesn't have to be Mercury stuff. It can be anything.
Caleb Love going to Arizona.
That was
I
big.
don't know, Ron. You saw that?
I did.
Yeah, that's a
I
big,
really did.
big Pac-12 edition right there.
It's
gonna be.
Win.
That's a big name to go to.
There is no more Pac-12, buddy. They're out of here. Hey, ASU just started a medical program just to move to the Big 12.
Oh yeah, they're out of there too. No, that's true. Caleb Love though, helped North Carolina win the championship not too long ago. So
He helped them get there.
Win. Get there.
He helped them get there. All right,
there.
let's calm down on some Caleb Love. Now I love Caleb Love, man. They got to see what Arizona brings though. Other players they bring back. That's the thing about college basketball these days. All these one and dones. You never know what you never know. But I am excited about seeing Caleb Love in the red and blue. It will look weird after watching him in Carolina blue for so many years. And I don't know, man. I'm excited about it.
I am too. I guess my final thought is Nuggets in 6.
Nuggets in 3. They're not even going to play the last game. They're going to get just so blown out.
They're not losing at home.
They're up 17 right now.
I know.
Can't go from speed level.
I thought Benny was going to win by 30. He thought I was crazy.
I actually thought
it's gonna make the Suns look good when the Nuggets go on a sweep the Lakers and sweep the Heat.
4 or 5.
You sound like my mama.
Feel a little bit
better.
better.
4 or 5.
Nah, I think it's gonna go. I think it's gonna go 7, bro. I ain't gonna lie. This game is unfair. They should not be playing this game tonight. Denver's been off for damn 3 weeks. He just played the game on Monday. This series should have started on Saturday or Sunday. To be fair, it didn't. But in my eyes, for this game to be fair, these kids got to go home and sleep in their bed at least one night. They went straight from Boston to Denver. It's just not even fair. Like this game, I'm not even going for the Nuggets. But I put all my damn money on it because how the hell is Miami going to compete on tired ass legs? Bam got a bum shoulder. Jimmy got a bum ankle.
Yeah, they just went through war to get here.
The Heat should not have let them get it to game 7.
True.
But I see your point. Yeah.
True. It should have been 2 sweeps because I mean, bro, Boston put up 80 points in the damn game 7. Y'all wasting my time with that one, bro. Y'all should have simulated that, bro.
Hey man, you ain't never lying, man.
I was disappointed. Not only as a better.
Yeah, that's their fault. That's their fault. It's no one else's fault. It's Heat's fault.
I know, but I'm just saying, at the end of the day, for this to be a fair series, it should have started on Sunday or Saturday. Because it doesn't start on Sunday or Saturday. Nuggets finna tap that thing all on the floor, as the great Akon once said.
Hey man, that'll do it for this episode of the Bird City Sports Podcast.
Open it with a Wayne lyric, end it with Akon, baby.
And yeah, that'll do it for this episode of the Bird City Sports Podcast. So please like and subscribe on the YouTube channel below. If you like what we have, we do this usually every Thursday. Talk about all things from the Valley in the sports world. I'm pretty sure we're going to be talking about the next Suns head coach next week. That's just a hunch feeling. That's probably not something that's reported or anything. I just think they're going to have that taken care of. So just something cooking next week. But until then, I am your host, Franklin Miller. That is the boy Jacob Harden, Brandon Mao, Rowan Donaghy, signing off. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.